I'm not a part of it, but I feel like it's such a tradition for UMass students to kind of get together and celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And it can get outrageous, but it's ultimately their decision and they're responsible for their own actions.
I am here since 2012, so I experienced it 2 times, but I never participated in it because I was literally afraid. I don't actually know what Blarney Blowout is, but I also don't think that people should get really crazy about it.
It really paints UMass and just college students in general in a bad light because it's a small group of people causing a lot of destruction, and then as a result, a large group of people get implicated.
They just take it out of hand, and like the school itself is trying to cut off every single kind of form of like a festivity here. They're just cutting off like concerts, how they cut off electric dance music concerts.
I mean, if people want to gather, it's all right. If people handle it responsibly, it will be all right.
I mean, I feel like the university tries so hard to protect a reputation, and they try to attempt to make this university seem so perfect, but it's not.
The measures that were taken weren't enough. Hopefully in the future they will make better precautions, not only for the safety of the students, but the reputation and other things as well, yeah.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I think an alternative event would obviously have to be something that would be like cool enough to be a draw away from doing that. You don't have to go out and create a mob and do all this destruction.
As like they had the protests, apparently the 2 chancellors weren't here, they're out of town. A day after the thing happened, like why would you be out of town for that? It's your job, and that's like a major problem that's happening now. It's all over the news, it's embarrassing.
I feel like some students do have a right to be angry because they felt like they were arrested for no reason or that they didn't take part or do anything wrong. And as long as they're not being violent, they do have a right of speech and a right to stand up for what they believe.
I feel like the students are actually trying to like say something. Like I've seen a bunch of my friends send articles, like emails.
I feel like the overwhelming opinion of students is that they've been mistreated by the university and that they didn't do anything wrong, that they were mistreated by the police. There's so many students here who also don't feel that way and who feel like, you know, this got really out of hand. People who are older who are watching this coverage maybe wouldn't agree.
I think that there's an over-exaggerated response, maybe on both ends between the two. You just need to make protocols to make sure that people can do this. If they do this more responsibly, they're more safe, and that you actually have measurements to respond to this if it does start to get out of control, that doesn't have to end the way that this particular year did end.
I mean, I think it's personally kind of funny. I'll go on social medias and I'll see headlines of the Blarney Blowout on like Time magazine, Yahoo, front page, or BuzzFeed. There's other universities that are far worse, they're doing much more crazier things.
I know a bunch of other universities that have like huge blowouts like that, and nothing ever goes of it. Why did this one get blown out of proportion? Obviously there's something there that shows injustice, let's say. Like last year there was 9 arrests. Like that's okay, somewhat reasonable.
Oh, I'm sure a high schooler, well, I'm sure a certain demographic of high schoolers would find that to be a draw for college of, oh wow, that looks like a lot of fun, and you know, look at all that partying they get to do. When I say I graduated with a master's degree at UMass, what does that mean when all of the undergrads are behaving in this manner?